I do have some I should check the mineral oil. Mineral oil level. How's the throttle? Holding like a firm, holding nice and tight, bro. And we've gone through some pretty technical areas that didn't send it ajar, so that's a very good thing. We might ride Thunder Mountain with the electric. I was talking to these people. They've got 750 watt Cannondales, and even though it's posted no electrics, obviously people are still riding their electrics on it. They did it. Other people were doing it. You know, but you could very easily have a Ranger at the bottom just waiting for people to come through. So when you get to the end, you might want to pay attention. It's possible that a Ranger could be there. They would make a fortune if they did. The rule of thumb is no electric is allowed on it at all, even if it's just the little baby 750 watt, let alone the 2300 watt like mine. This is a beast. This is the beast of I think they have more now, bigger ones. They have 72 volt batteries now, but the 72 volt battery is enormous, dudes, and it's very, very heavy, and it's very, very bulky, and it looks very, very ridiculous on the bike builds that they have for bike tricks. That's my personal opinion. Hey, yeah, sure, it's nice to have that extra power and stuff, but it's very awkward looking. I really value this particular bike, the sleekness of it, the 29-inch roll, and the fact that you don't need the key to put the battery in. It just clicks in. That is very, very pleasurable, I might add, gentlemen. Now, you certainly need the key to take the battery out. But not having to grab the key to put the battery in is very, very much a time saver. Very, very nice. And it's not a deal breaker, gentlemen, that have to use a key to put the battery in either, but I'm just telling you, it's very convenient to be able to click that battery in without having to break out a key, which is in my backpack right now as we speak, because I do have another battery in my backpack. For this bike, we won't need it, but you don't know that, you know what I'm saying? This is, I didn't even, and another thing about bike tricks is you can charge the battery without taking it out of the bike. That also is very nice, convenient. That's true with most electric bikes, but I just wanted to point that couple of those technicalities out if you're out shopping for a bike. These are things that make it convenient, more convenient. I will also say that, you know, the chargers are a bit slow for these 52 volters. It does take 5 hours to charge the beast fully from dead battery to full charge. Now these brake levers are okay, but here again, they collapse too much for me. I like to use one finger on the brake. I've got all 4 fingers on it right now, because when I put my other 3 fingers underneath, it almost collapses and touches my fingers. And that's why I got 4 fingers on the brake. I usually use just, yeah, see, when I use one finger, when I did collapse it, it's touching. You see how the Jeep is still in the shade? There's Bucky. You big boy, bastard boy. Now you know why I put the bike over here, Jeep over here, guys. You see this shade? This isn't my first rodeo here. You see the silver truck over there? It's in the hot, blazing saddle sun. Look at me, I'm already back. Those guys are still doing their thing. They did the longer trail, guys. The trail that they did, it's not a fucking easy little fucker either. Okay, we want to keep this in the shade too. So I guess right here is good. See, right here, you don't want to grab the bar handle grip. When you lay it down, place the top pedal high, and it sets right there without even the grip touching the ground. The throttle grip. Now you know why we parked right here. It's almost 11 o'clock, and we've got intense, fucking beautiful shade, and we will have shade until we leave, which is going to be shortly. We're going to grab something to drink. Here's a U-lock that goes through the frame underneath. That other U-lock goes through the handle on the generator. We've got another U-lock right here through the front wheel to the wheel chock. And of course, there's another one right here that goes through the wheel chock, through the wheel. So it's nice to have your investments secure on your vehicle trailer. Of course, this is locked. There's a small lock on here, but you know, if someone were to want this, what they would do is cut that fucking lock, take the whole trailer and be gone. Now, I'm not worried about it right here. Although you should certainly give it some thought. What you want to do is you want to take the wheel lock off the other trailer and take it with you. Throw it in one of the green bags, the top green bag, easy to get at, and so you can put it on. It'll give you that much more. You know, people who want to steal the trailer, they can see that there's a wheel lock on it. So now they have to cut that wheel lock off, or they have to take the spare off and take the wheel off and put the new tire on. All of that takes extra time and it looks extra suspicious. But anyways, you get what I'm saying, guys. It's not my first rodeo. I do like to keep things secure so I can relax out on the trail. And I was going to take the wheel lock on it on this trip, and I said, well, on the Idaho trip I will take it, because this trailer and Jeep are going to be sitting maybe in the same place for 16 days. Someone could get a bead on your activity, you know what I'm saying? So the wheel lock is a good idea, especially with your $10,000 dirt bike and your $30,000 street bike on there. Even though when I stay there for 16 days, I will unload those bikes off the trailer and I will lock them to the trailer when they're off the trailer. So they'll act like dead weight, ball and chain, if you will, to the trailer, so they can't just take off with the trailer. And take off with the trailer and your bike's loaded on it. I know, well, I don't know personally, but I do know a person on YouTube that had his kids racing stuff on the trailer. He had it locked on just like I do, and they showed a video. You know, there was cameras at the hotel that he was staying at, and all they did is they unhitched it, and two guys lifted it over and put it on their trailer hitch and drove off. Boom. All his stuff inside of that trailer. You follow me? So that's, like I said, that's the way they steal stuff. Act normal. You know, if anybody's around, you know, I'm sure they had their license plate covered. You know, even if somebody walked by, it would just look like, you know, it looked like normal activity. Stuff to be aware of, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can't be gullible in this world, you know, thinking that everything is honky-dory. You know, you're looking at some pretty heavy-duty equipment here. Each one of these mountain bikes, you know, that's a $10,000 dirt bike. Each mountain bike here is about 8 or 9 grand. You know, do the math. This isn't fucking chopped liver here. That trailer is about $3,500. So, not to mention the Jeep here, that's 140 grand with the lift kit. Point being, gentlemen, this is not chopped liver. I'm going to shut you down, and we're going to get a cold drink and relax.